Many Americans stay broke without even noticing it. Okay, now just watch the next video. Now, before I show you the next video, I need you to understand that this is not the case for every single American, but it's a case for majority of Americans. And first of all, as many of you might have known, I'm not living in America at the moment. I live in Africa, but I have a lot of friends that are Americans, and I have a lot of people that I communicate with online that are Americans. So from my communication with these people, from my research, I begin to wonder. I'm worried. Why is it that America is seen as the richest country on earth, one of the richest countries on earth, but most of the citizens, they are struggling, right? They live paycheck to paycheck. After getting the salary for the month or the week, before you know, they are back to debt, or they are struggling. They pay expenses. So that's why I'm wondering, how can this situation be solved? Now, before I go into details, just watch the video to see a typical American. This lady, she shared her experience, and I'm going to be discussing her experience with everyone.
This is going to be my last attempt to make this video. Hi, I am $180,000 in student loan debt. 160 of that is private student loan debt. The rest is federal student loan debt. I pay around $2,400 a month, just shy of that for my private student loans, and then just shy of $300 for my federal student loans. So it's pushing $3,000 a month for my student loans. Plus I have my car payment and my car insurance and my rent. So yeah, I live paycheck to paycheck. I have multiple jobs. I have a job I have throughout the week. I have a job I have on the weekends. I have a side hustle. I work around 70 hours a week, paycheck to paycheck, and guess what happens in the last month? Something happens, clerical error, I don't know, $300 missing from my paycheck. Cool, we'll add it to the next one. They do, and then a different clerical error.
You see, I'm short of words, but this is the typical life which an average American lives, right? Most people, they want to live the American dream. However, the American dream seems like a struggling dream at the moment. It seems like a life where you earn so much only to spend it on expenses. So most people end up living paycheck to paycheck. Now, while this is the situation for majority of people, if you ask most people honestly, they are not happy about it, and they wish they can change the situation such that they have so much spare money to go around instead of living paycheck to paycheck. While this is a daunting task, it is very possible. You can cut that lifestyle of paycheck to paycheck. You can stop it and take back your power. It's not gonna be easy, but you can do it. And before I end the video, I'm gonna list out some steps that you can use to win your power back and stop living paycheck to paycheck. The first step is above. You need to know exactly where your money goes. You need to track your expenses. You can use a software like the Mint or YNAB, or even use a paper to assess your income and your expenses. For, let's say, you can give yourself 2 weeks and assess your income and expenses. When doing this, you should include things like your regular bills, your groceries, your subscriptions, even just to take coffee. Include every single detail. This is very, very important, because once you can see your income and your expenses, it will enable you to understand where your money is going to. And when you know where your money is going to, it will be easier for you to cut unnecessary expenses. Now let's go to step 2. The second step you need to take is that you need to divide your money. After you've known your income and your expenses, you need to divide your money into essentials and non-essentials. Now, essentials are going to include things like your rent, okay, your food, your bills, and your transport. These are things you cannot do without. You group them on one side. And then you have another list for the non-essential items. This is going to be things like your dining out, your subscriptions, your shopping, right? These are going to be on your non-essentials. Okay, now this is the next step to do. Now, after you've divided your money into essentials and non-essentials, the next step for you to take is that immediately you have to stop spending on the non-essential item for a period of time. You need to test it. You need to see how you can live your life without those non-essential things. Okay, you stop it, and by stopping that, you will be able to save some extra money, which I'm going to show you what you will use that money to do. Okay, so you are being very, very careful with your spending right now. Now the next step, the third step, is that you, after you have done step 1 and step 2, you need to build a small emergency fund, right? Even if it's $200 or $300 or $500 or $1,000, depending on your income, you build an emergency fund. Okay, and now this emergency fund is going to help you for sudden expenses, like let's say you have a sudden medical bill or car repair. This, your emergency fund, is going to help you. Okay, so now those non-essential spending which you have stopped, you are going to put it into saving for this emergency fund. Okay, and even if you have some unused items in your house that you don't use, you can sell them. Okay, you can sell them to enable you build up this emergency fund. Okay, good. Now the next step you need to take after doing this is that you need to avoid as much as possible any high interest debts, or if necessary, pay off any high interest debts. Okay, your credit card debts or any other debt, pay it off, because that interest is going to keep haunting you. The money will keep bearing interest, which will keep dragging you down. So you want to pay off as much high interest debt as possible, right? Then the next step you need to do is that you need to automate your savings. Okay, if you can automate your savings, it will make it easier for you to save instead of you trying to do it manually, because when you automate it, it goes to the savings account automatically, even without any effort from you. So that's why it's important you automate your savings. Okay, and then the final step that you need to take is to find a way to increase your income and invest. Okay, it is very important. You need to go for side hustles, take freelance work, or even work overtime. Okay, you need to do that to increase your income. Now, even if you get extra $100 to $300 every month, it will help you to avoid the paycheck to paycheck drama. Okay, this is very, very, very important. Okay, and then once you have been able to build up your emergency fund and you have been able to clear up all high interest debt, you must make sure you invest what you have left. Okay, invest in the 401k or even other investment opportunities. And also, very importantly, avoid lifestyle inflation. The temptation is going to come once you start making enough money, once you start saving enough money, there will be that temptation for you to want to also increase your expenses. Please, I recommend that you avoid that, to avoid lifestyle inflation. And I believe that these steps will help you avoid living paycheck to paycheck. If you enjoy what we do on this channel, do not hesitate to subscribe for more guidelines like this. I'm going to help you build your finances and build your everyday lifestyle. All right, so till you hear from me again, cheers to your success.